The Devonian period is the fourth period of the Paleozoic era, from about 419 to 359 million years ago. During this period, there are two supercontinents formed, Belarusia and Gondwana. This period is sometimes called as Age of Fishes because of great variety of fish and other marine organisms. One of the most notable were the placoderms, which has powerful jaws lined with bone plates acting as teeth. Plants and other animals began to colonize the land as well. So let's take a look at some of the most dominant organisms that lived during this period.
First on our list are the ammonites.
Ammonites are a large and diverse group of creatures that arose during the Devonian period.
These organisms are closely related to other cephalopods such as squids, octopuses, and cuttlefish. Based on the fossils, ammonites came in a wide range of sizes and shapes, from small inch to as large as 9 feet wide. As they grew their size, ammonites added new chambers to their shell, forming a spiral shape.
Many ammonoids probably live in the open water of ancient seas rather than in sea bottom.
They consume zooplanktons, crustaceans, and other ammonites.
Ammonites lived and evolved until the Mesozoic era. As they evolved, their shell structures grew smaller, more tightly coiled, and more complex. Early ammonites had only a simple structure lines across their shells, while the line patterns of ammonites in the Cretaceous period formed intricate patterns that may have given them greater buoyancy control.
Ammonites survived the Devonian mass extinction,
But in the end of Cretaceous period, it became the end for the ammonites and the other cephalopods. It is believed that a huge meteor collided with the Earth, which resulted to 80% of the Earth's population, including dinosaurs, became extinct during this event.
Second organism that lived during this period are the placoderms. Placoderms are jawfishes, and one example of it is a Dunkleosteus. Dunkleosteus is the largest placoderm that lived during the Devonian period. They are known for having thick and bony plates covering their head, but the rest of their body lack of this place for greater flexibility when swimming after their prey. They approximately grew for about 6 to 10 meters and weighed for 1 to 4 tons, which makes them the most frightening organism that live in the Devonian seas. In fact, Dunkleosteus are much bigger than great white sharks. Like all placoderms, Dunkleosteus was toothless, but they possessed two long, bony plates or fangs that were extension of their jaw that could kill and slice the flesh and crush the bones of their enemies or almost anything. This organism ate fish, sharks, and even their own kind. Some fossils show that as these monstrous fish grew up, their mouths changed, their jaw gradually lengthened, while the fangs front up grew sturdier. It is because the fangs came together, which continuously sharpened each other as the fish opened and closed its mouth. This also meant that the jaw of an adult Dunkleosteus closed more slowly. But this kind of organism wasn't able to live up in today's age. Who wonder why? Because it will be discussed later.
Other organisms that lived and evolved during this period are the fishopods. Fishopods are species that represent features from low-fin fish and the first tetrapods or amphibians. One famous fishopod that lived during this period is the Tiktaalik. Tiktaalik rosei is an extinct fish-like aquatic animal that lived during the late Devonian period. This organism would grow for about 3 meters or 10 feet in length. Tiktaalik has been a close relative of the direct ancestors of tetrapods, which are the four-legged vertebrates. Tiktaalik has similar fish-like and tetrapod-like features. Its fish-like features include scales, fins, and gills, while its tetrapod-like features includes a flat head with eyes found at the top and a neck. In 2004, its fossils were found in the Canadian Arctic, which makes it a part and big answer in the transition between primitive fishes and the early tetrapods. As we can see that the Tiktaalik had developed wrists that helped it to walk on the riverbeds and scramble around mudflats. This organism also had powerful fins, which made them to move in the water and navigate in the environment in which it lived. This low-fin fish hunted like a freshwater crocodile in rivers and inlets, and had a surprisingly agile neck and primitive lungs. But why did fishes like Tiktaalik move and evolve from water to land? Well, scientists said that this had been a convenient way for them to escape huge carnivorous fish and also to help them to pursue some of the smaller fish hiding in the shallows and the bug-like critter in the rivers and streams. But this kind of organism also died and became extinct in the late Devonian period. We will further discuss the causes of its extinction right after the last organism.
The Devonian period was not just about sea life, but it also talks about the formation of life on land. By the end of this period, it saw the rise of vascular land plants, a group that includes everything from trees to ferns and flowering plants. These vascular plants had made a great impact on land. Their roots penetrated to the ground, deeply breaking up rocks and helped to create soil. One of the vascular plants that help in soil formation are Pertica and Archaeopteris. Pertica is a genus of extinct vascular plants of the early to middle Devonian period and has been placed under the Trimerophytes, which is a group that is probably paraphyletic and believed to be the ancestral group from which ferns and seed plants evolved. This plant was relatively tall for about 1 to 3 meters. Pertica also became extinct because of the mass extinction that happened in the late Devonian period.
But what caused the mass extinction in the end Devonian period? Well, there have been several causes that have been proposed for this period's mass extinction. Some scientists believe that it is because of the asteroid's impact, global anoxia, or widespread dissolved oxygen shortage, plate tectonics, sea level changes, and climate change. One more interesting theory was the Devonian plant hypothesis, wherein the rise of terrestrial plants as the ultimate cause for mass extinction. The organisms that were severely affected by this extinction are the marine organisms and having a little impact on the terrestrial community. And those are just some of the organisms that lived in the Devonian period. We hope that you learned something new today. Thanks for watching.